Hello, I am Artemis Zarin, and welcome to my study. And today, we are, as the title would suggest, back to Minecraft. Now, we're back to this town that we initially, in the last stream, figured out the location of, and then began construction of the basic layout of it. And then I got, I don't know, 1/3 to halfway through building this house. It's quite unfinished because, you know, you have the whole first floor kind of mapped out but not furnished. And then you've got the second floor that hasn't even gotten the walls installed in it yet. Also, I was just looking at this and figured out that I kind of didn't make this building long enough back here, because I was just building the frame of it off of this room here, but it kind of is supposed to have a hallway, which would go through the middle here, and then rooms on either side. But if you put a wall on the other side of this hallway here, you'd have a 1 block thick room, and that doesn't really work. So I don't think it's going to be able to be, either I need to expand the room this way, or I just need to not have rooms on this side of the hallway, which isn't a big deal. It doesn't really affect very much because the main characters that you deal with that stay in this in the story are actually in these 2 rooms here. Those rooms are not vacant, but you just don't really interact with them as much. So it's not all that important, especially because when it comes to Minecraft, trying to make a real world scale building is incredibly difficult. So like this area behind the counter here, in Minecraft it's an entire meter thick, because, you know, each block is 1 square meter. So but that's not really realistic. You wouldn't need a counter with a full meter of space behind it, I don't think. And you also wouldn't need a meter thick counter. So yeah, all the proportions are quite off when it comes to transporting these things into Minecraft. So it would be quite difficult to make this to scale. Even if I extended this, then the innkeeper's room back here, which is already quite huge, would be even bigger. Like, this would be the size of a house in and of itself, which actually this kind of already is. It would be even bigger than a house. So that would be completely off scale. So we're just not going to have rooms on this side of the hallway, even though they're supposed to be. But that's kind of just what you have to do when you're dealing with real world scale. And I just lined these out with the cobblestone as to where these rooms will be once we actually build them. But then we also have the bathhouse, which is right here. I think this is the one we would be working on today. I got all the spacing done here for the cliff, so I just need to take 1 layer off the rest of the cliff, and that's where the walls are going to be. And then this is all the interior space. And that's going to be a lot of work, because there's also supposed to be stairs up into the bath, so I would need to not only make the doorway, but then make a entryway that leads upwards. Should we have this? I think we should just have this be... No, not those blocks. The dang pickaxe going crazy again. I also just got, yesterday I was farming the Ender Dragon because I needed to for my shop that I've been working on. And I was having a lot of trouble with getting one shot, because for some reason, if you're you know like if the dragon perches in the perch area and you get too close to the front of it, it'll like launch you away at Mach 10. Well, that normally isn't too big of an issue because you're just standing on the ground and then you're flying through the air and then you land. You only need to deal with fall damage, which feather falling eradicates quite nicely. But what I didn't take into account is that this dragon is quite difficult, and I don't have a good bow. So my usual strategy is to take the elytra and my melee weapon and just kind of chase it down and stab at it like that. Now, that works great. I can do a lot of damage and kill it in like 5 minutes tops. But the issue is that when you're flying with the elytra, when you're in this, not F3, F5, when you're in this mode of transportation, it turns out that you have a different type of damage, which let me see if I can demonstrate it. It is the damage of impact, and that's not fall damage. It's like velocity damage. And what would happen is that I didn't have anything that was reducing or negating velocity damage, and it would send me away at Mach 10 doing the normal thing that the dragon does, but because I'm in that flight mode, it would basically transfer that entire amount of energy into just kinetic push, and when I hit like one of the pillars or spires nearby, it would just kill me instantly. Like, it would one-shot me, even with 2 full health bars. It would just one-shot me immediately, and I had no way to really counteract that. But somebody donated to me some bunny hoppers, which basically grants immunity to fall damage. And to a degree, as I demonstrated, hitting the side of an object still does an amount of fall damage, or, you know, velocity damage, but it doesn't seem like it's nearly as much. But even if I'm at like 200 blocks and I fly straight down, no damage. Just none at all. So that helped a lot. I don't know if there is still like an angle that the dragon could shoot me out at that would make me still take damage, but I was able to fight the dragon an entire time without it one-shotting me even once. So that was good. And it seems like the bunny slippers work quite well. But who can say? I'll need to fight the dragon a few more times to really get the hard evidence that the slippers are working as they should. But that's basically what I was doing yesterday, was trying to fight the dragon like 4 times in a row and ended up getting destroyed by it a ton because of the janky physics and stuff like that. It was a whole mess, but I was able to completely fill up my new shop over at the shopping waypoint, or waystone, so that was fun. Okay, we have more rotten flesh. We don't need that. Oh, and I also went out of my way to get Scavenger 3 and Looting 4 on my weapon, so that, you know, if I need to be farming anything like the dragon or withers or something like that, then I'll have a 15% chance from the Scavenger to double all of its loot, like basically just have it drop loot twice, and that stacks with looting. So, you know, more wither skeleton skulls, more dragon eggs, more elytras, more nether stars. It was actually kind of broken, because I did kill the dragon one time with this weapon, and it dropped 2 eggs and 2 elytras on that one kill. Like, that is completely broken. But that only happens 15% of the time, so really, I guess, kind of balanced. I don't know. But it's nice. It definitely speeds up being able to get all those materials to keep the shop all filled up and nicely stocked. So this building, I still need to put windows on this one. Although this lobby's not supposed to have windows, but back here should have a window. Oh, hi. Get out of here. Yeah, I keep forgetting that I have my monocle on, which gives me permanent night vision, meaning all of this is pitch black, and I just can't even tell the difference. So mobs are gonna be spawning in there quite often. It's fine. We'll light it up later. I mean, unless it's a creeper, it's not really gonna cause issues. Although they did install a mod that made it so Endermen don't grief blocks. I wonder if that also applies to creepers, because that would be nice. That's kind of the main thing I'm worried about is the creepers. Alright, so we'll take one layer off of this, just so we can build our walls. There we go. Well, that was just the dirt layer, of course. Still need to do the arguably more dangerous situation of doing all the stone blocks. Because half the time, if you just tap it as quickly as you can, it still just breaks 2 blocks like that. I really need to get used to these bunny slippers. Okay, here I think we can just hold it down, because I don't think we're reaching all the way to the other end. But yeah, the bunny slippers, they not only grant immunity to fall damage, but they also give you jump boost too. So that's why I'm able to jump, like, multiple blocks in the air, which is useful, don't get me wrong, but it's still kind of unwieldy sometimes. Oh, and it lets you walk up blocks like this. I don't know why it doesn't, like, say that in the description, but that can be kind of a blessing and a curse. Because sometimes if you're, like, trying to just move quickly, being able to just not even care and just walk right over all these little bumps is very useful. But at the same time, it can be very problematic for certain reasons. So let's see. This place is big. This building right here. So we're gonna need. That's a doorway. We're gonna need lots of wood for that, which means we do have wood in the chest, but we should probably cut down our spruce forest and replant it again, just to make sure we have enough. You know, I wish that I had like an item magnet kind of thing. I wonder if that exists. Just like an item you can put on that makes it so items just gravitate towards you. Because I always miss some like logs or saplings when I'm cutting these down. And it's very irritating. Because I don't want to just leave items lying around like that. That's irresponsible. Especially with this jump boost, I'm just going to be jumping over all the items. That's fine. So I thought of a prototype that I could make that I don't know would be if it would even be worth it at all. But I was thinking when I was at my workshop earlier, I was like, okay, you can make this item called a recycler, and it takes any item in the game, it seems like, and has a % chance to turn that item into a piece of scrap. And then those scrap can be turned into scrap boxes that can then be opened for a random item out of, you know, a big long list of items. And some of those items are very useful, like zinc or titanium or something like that. And it's like, that would be nice. So should I make an auto scrapping device? Because I already have... Okay, it did that thing again. I already have a device that is like feeding from a chest into the recycler and then from the recycler into another chest. And that's technically an auto recycler, but I thought even bigger scale. What you could do, in theory, I don't know if this would work, but it very much seems like it should. You could take multiple recyclers, have cobblestone generators above them, which just generate infinite cobblestone, and then those would feed down into the recyclers. And then the recyclers would get scrap out of those. That would send it into an automatic crafter, which would then craft the scrap boxes, and then those would go down into the scrap box opener, automatically be opened, then they would go through item ducts that filters what items you're wanting to keep from the items you want to get rid of. And so then you put in storage all the items you want to keep from the scrap boxes, and put all the other items back into the recyclers to be turned back into scrap. And thus you would get an infinite machine that would just passively make you materials like zinc, titanium, beds, possibly if you just need a huge amount of beds. It is certainly complicated, but I think it would work. It would certainly do what it's supposed to do. And I'm just like, would that be even worth it? Is that something that is necessary? Because we have like an iron farm, but I don't think you can make a zinc or titanium farm or anything like that. So having an infinite source of that you can just sit next to and have it running kind of seems like it might be useful if you need a lot of those materials. I don't know. Maybe I'll go about setting that up one day. Just have that over in the corner of my workshop constantly going anytime the chunk is loaded. That might be useful. Man, I planted a lot of spruce trees. Like, I mean, I've cleared most of them, but there's still like an entire forest over here. What the heck? I kind of went a bit overboard, I think. Oh, also I noticed now that I'm wearing the bunny slippers, I make like rabbit noises every time I get hit. I have no idea why that is. I mean, I assume it's because of the rabbit slippers, but that it's just kind of weird. I was a bit caught off guard when I was fighting the dragon. I just kept hearing bunny noises. I'm like, what's happening? Why would that be a thing? So let's see. How raised up does this have to be? Probably only by a few blocks, because I think I would want to be able to stand underneath it, but we can lower the floor by 1. That probably isn't an issue. Oh, I don't think I even looked in this direction very much yet, but I leveled out this hill because if you'd remember, this area was like a sheer cliff right about, I think, here, and then I went through and evened it out, put down another couple frames here, what am I trying to think? Foundations, that's the name. And I made the market kind of road thing here. Oh, I also made the actual road. I just plopped in a bunch of deep slate because I like how it looks. I might replace it with other materials later, but for now it's just a decent little stone road that goes through it. And then I'm going to need a different type of stone to fill this in and make this little marketplace square. And then these are the buildings that will connect to that. And I evened all of this out, trying to make it look at least semi-natural, though that's hard to do. It's surprisingly difficult to mimic Minecraft natural generation, but either way, I managed to even it out so it isn't just a sheer wall, and now I just need to do that to that, like this entire cliff up here, and I'm gonna need to make this entire hill here flat down at like ground level down there. So that is a ton of landscaping still left to do. And then I'm going to need to put dark oak trees around the entire border of the village. So that's going to be fun. That is a lot of landscaping, but I'll get it done eventually. What's important is getting the buildings done for now and not utterly destroying the floor. Alright, so out there is going to be the wall, so we don't really need to mine that just yet. Just get in the hole. Yeah, that's the wall, so we don't need that. Okay. Yeah, these bunny slippers definitely make construction a bit more difficult when it comes to the auto popping up blocks type thing. So while they're very useful for, you know, not dying on the elytra and having the dragon not one-shot you, I kind of feel like I might only wear them for the dragon flight, or dragon fight, and for flying around on the elytra, just in case I end up hitting the ground too hard again. Is there an Enderman inside the house? That is unfortunate. Alright, so now we'll only need to go up 1 block to have a block down here. Should I go even one further down? Let me just finish outlining the wall here so I can tell a lot easier what's going on with that. Also, there's supposed to be a window on that wall there, so that's going to be kind of awkward to have that just facing straight out to the giant dirt wall there. But it'll be fine, I'm sure. Let's see. If we go up by 2, let's grab some stairs. See what that looks like. I think we have stairs. Yeah, we have stairs in here. Some of those, and then, or should they be spruce stairs? Because the walls are spruce, but the floors were gonna be dark oak. So I think we need dark oak stairs instead. So let's just grab some of these to test. And we need to actually put some of this stuff away. Though I don't know how much of it will actually go in. Only a few. Inventory space is always an issue, no matter how late in the game you get. So now we probably don't want them directly in the doorway because the doors have to be here. But then you go up 1. Then we need this. Up 2. Because that would make the floor line there. So you could be underneath it quite readily. And then... yeah, and then you would just have the bath there. But it needs to be a couple deep. Meaning this area needs to be mined down to the point that that makes sense. Okay, but the floor line I think will be here. So we'll make that. Actually, we don't want this to be 4. This is only room for 3. This one, I think, would be infringing. And we need a lot more wood. I didn't pick up any dark oak wood when I was over here, which is not very much forethought. I should have realized that once I got the level figured out, I would want to actually make the floor. There's the dark oak. Just get all the planks. And this would go all the way to the edge. And just continue with more 3-block walkways all the way around. And actually, the math might be too small. I might need to make the place bigger, or make the walkways smaller. Which actually, yeah, the walkways wouldn't be 3 meters wide, I don't think. So we might need to fix that, because I didn't take into account that this layer... wait, actually, if I took out this layer of wood, made this the edges of stone, then the walkway would still be 3 wide. It would just... one of the walkway would be stone. So that's fine. Because I was thinking, I didn't take into account for the size of it, that the edges of the pool would be encroaching upon the overall size of it. So I think that is one full layer taken off. Okay. Now I need to decide what material I want that to be. It needs to be something smooth, so like something like polished diorite, but it'd probably be polished granite if it was going to be one of those. Maybe andesite? I don't know, it's quite rare that you actually end up using these materials. I usually don't, but I probably have plenty of andesite because I don't use it in anything. Can you make bedrock? Is this like... No. I was like, does one of the mods give us bedrock? That would be nice. Although, kind of dangerous. So, granite, we could go for granite, but what... It would most likely be a gray stone. Most stones are gray, but it could be white stone if it was, you know, looking to be a bit opulent, you know? A bit fancy. But I think andesite is the safest option. Now, I don't know if I have any andesite here, or at least enough of it, so I might just need to go back to my house. Pick up a bunch of that stuff. Oh, and I'm gonna need slabs too, I think. Because I would just make the thing 2 blocks deep, but you're supposed to be able to stand up in it and not drown. That's, you know, that would be a bit of a health hazard. Is it andesite or and? I'll just put and. How many stacks? Let's just start with 2 stacks. Go from there. You can always come back. I don't need most of this. Get out of here. Okay. Should be good. Back to here. Got our polished andesite, which I still don't know how putting it in a 2x2 configuration on a crafting table polishes it, but I'm not about to ask questions. Could probably do it better from down here. Yeah, that's a bit easier. So yeah, I might do like 1 block down and then a slab on here. No, wait, that would just be... Would that be the correct? I don't think it would. I don't know, my brain is not working with that. Because that would be 1.5 blocks, right? Yeah, if you had a slab there, it would be half a block and 1. Why does that just seem so short to my brain? Can you make polished andesite slabs? I wonder. Because that would be something I need. Okay, you can. How do you make that? Just regular, okay. So I'll need the backpack. Just make some of it, see if this works. Because height-wise, yeah, that works. It just looked weird from the bottom. Let's see, do we have a bucket? No, at least not here. Let's go back to our shulkers, see if we can't find a bucket. If we sort it by name, the bucket would be near the top. So instead of clearing through all of this, we can just sort by name and then look at the first couple rows. Right? Unless it's like empty bucket or something like that. Okay, we don't seem to have any buckets in here. Which is weird, because I could have sworn I had a bucket on me just a little bit ago. Because I have all this oil in my backpack, and I used a bucket to get that in there. So I don't know where that went, but let's just go back to the house and get another bucket. Because I want to also test the water in there, because I'm not I'm still not so sure as to how waterlogging slabs works. So I'm gonna need to test that out and make sure it actually works. Let's just get 2 buckets. Make it a bit faster without, you know, overloading our inventory with buckets. Okay, then we got water right about here. Make the rest of these slabs, because once we put the water in, we kind of want it to be watertight. Not just have these big holes in the floor the water can go all over. Okay, we just need a bit more. Maybe 3? Might be too much. Yeah, so I think it was 1 too many. No, because we would have been 1 off if I hadn't had that last one. So let's see. Yeah, so you can waterlog that. What does that look like from below? If I can just make a little path here. Okay, so it doesn't really pop out the bottom, which is good. Once again, I have no idea how this whole waterlogging thing works. So I was like, does it just submerge half of the block of water into the ground? I don't know. And it doesn't flow anywhere. You're literally just waterlogging it. Alright. But it still works like regular water for the most part. Okay, well, we'll go through and waterlog every slab, and then... Actually, we might just make a infinite water source closer to the thing just to save some time. Let's see. And the only reason I'm doing this, I mean, I suppose I could check if doing this. Yeah, that is just floating water. So yeah, I'll need to waterlog every slab and then put water over it in order to make it not look like the water's all just floating above it. But it would at least, because they're all slabs, at least it wouldn't have that issue where you place the water block above and then it is all flowing down, making it so that... Oh wait, how are we gonna make all the middle fill in? We might need to mess with that a bit. I don't know exactly how that works. Because sometimes the middle doesn't, like, fill itself in if you're dealing with this shallow of a area. But I guess technically it's a 1 block... Yeah, it's a 1 block area because these are slabs, so... it should fill itself in. If not, we might need to place some temporary blocks in the middle to get the water up there. But we're halfway done with waterlogging the slabs. Isn't that exciting? Yeah, I'm glad that I put this here. It would have been a lot slower running to the water's edge every single refill. Unless I just brought a ton of buckets, which I could have done. Could have just brought like 10 buckets in, filled my entire hotbar with them. That would have been maxed efficiency, but then I would have needed to deal with all the buckets afterwards. They'd probably just end up rotting away in a shulker somewhere. You know, I still believe that the 4 block infinite water source is far superior to the 3 block infinite water source. Because while this takes up more space, it works so well. Because you can take out of any of the 4 spots without worrying. But you know, if you have a 3-block water source, that's just, you could accidentally break it by taking from one of the sides. That's no good. Because then you actually need to, like, think about things when you're pulling water out of it. Nobody wants to have to think. Just 2 more trips, and we should be done with waterlogging our entire pool. Okay, then we can put water around the edge on top, and hopefully that just fills itself in. Like, can I take... I can, so that's an infinite source. So that filled itself. See, there we go, because it's 1 block. It's actually infinitely filling itself in. All the way across. Just as intended. There we go. Now we can stand in it without having air bubbles, and it's right up to our neck, which is a perfect height for this. It's so hard to control the camera when it's looking at that angle. Okay, so that's perfect. That is exactly how it should be, I believe. And then underneath, we'll need this to be... I don't know, I guess this is fine, a perfectly fine depth, because you can stand under it. I don't think we need these. So yeah, that doesn't affect anything. Alright. And that's good. We'll need to make a little access tunnel for that a bit later. But that is looking good for the flooring. We will need to get the walls actually figured out. Now, what would the walls be? Because most of the building is just planks like this. You know, it's just spruce wood. But would it have a stone base? I don't think it would. I think we're just dealing with a fully wooden structure once again. Let's see, so the wood is in here. Oh, we already have plenty of spruce wood though. Probably should have just picked out of that, but that's fine. Those can stack. Is there any space for these? Nope, not really. Put this in kind of the quiver just does not want to go in. Okay, that's weird. Probably don't need all this cobblestone. Put that in there. Okay. Perfect. We also don't need this to exist anymore, so we'll just, you know, do a bit of a cover-up operation here. Perfect. Oh, I also went through... I missed a patch here. Why'd you put down a plank? I wanted you to pull out the wood, or the dirt. Oh, we don't have any dirt. Yeah, I went through and tried to patch up any spots that didn't have dirt in them. I obviously missed that one spot there. But that's fine. But yeah, a lot of these spots around here, like around the back, just still that line, but I just cut that line recently. But a lot of this didn't have any dirt in it. It was all stone because we cut too far down into the mountain. So I went through and replaced all of it with dirt so it'd be nice and green. Alright, now we need to destroy the entire foundational thing of this. That's just a temporary outline and we're not actually going to be using it. I am probably going to have the underground walls. Maybe stone brick? I don't know. So let's see. We'll have the doorway supported by these. And then we'll have more logs all the way around the edges. There we go. Now for a building this size, like for a smaller building, it's probably mostly fine to have just the planks go down to the ground, but I was thinking for a larger building that might need a more intricate structure, should I have planks or like logs that go along the base of the foundation as well? So it would be like a sideways log across here and then planks on top. I'm not sure, because it's always looked a bit average to just have the planks go down to the floor there. And since this doesn't have a stone base layer, I was thinking like doing something like this would make it look a bit more stable, because it is mostly like a log and wood type building. So just having it constructed kind of like that would add some kind of variety to the overall outside look. Need more spruce planks. Let's chop one of these apart. Stop it. There we go. So yeah, I don't know. I feel like that is generally good to have something kind of lining the bottom of the building. Because if not, it can look a bit basic. And I don't want it to look anything but good. At least good enough. Because, you know, that's what we strive for here on this channel, is a solid good enough. Yeah, this building's definitely going to need to be a bit bigger, because there's going to be another couple rooms that way, which aren't, you know, part of the this main structure here. They're going to be kind of a separate room thing. I don't know exactly how I'm going to implement that. I don't know, should I move the frame further and just have an interior wall here? Probably. Meaning I would need to cut down more of this cliff. Because yeah, I did remember this isn't just this room. There's like behind the scenes rooms both over there and underneath. Which we already have the underneath room figured out, but the ones over there kind of need to be also figured out. So I guess we're cutting down more of this cliff. Even though I kind of wanted to just do that off camera because it's just a lot of this. But that's fine. We have a fast enough shovel, so it shouldn't take too horribly long. Let's see, how far back are we making this? Maybe back to here? Just give us plenty of space. Where does this come out at? Well, that was perfect. So we should probably make it a couple blocks this way, just to give us space around the building. And I can actually put all these earthworms into my recycling plant. Because I don't need them for anything else as far as I know. I've never seen a useful recipe that uses the earthworms, so I don't know why they're here. But they make for good scrap, so that's good at least. So I'm a bit concerned if you Like, what are you doing to the worms that you end up grinding them up in the recycler, and then if you put 9 of those ground up pieces together, you get a bed? Like, how does that make sense? I'm quite concerned about it. Let's see if we can't get some of this shoved into here. And then some more in this. That's a bit of space. Alright, and then we need to get rid of all this stone. Just be careful. Kind of use the max reach as a safeguard so you don't break anything else. Okay. That didn't work when it comes to the floor. That is unfortunate. So how far are we wanting to go on this side? All the way through. Okay. Always breaking the floor, and I can't even copy it because it's supposed to be cobblestone, not stone. That's fine. And our inventory's full again. That's fine. Well, we got all that cleaned out, so we just need to put all this away. So that's full, so let's start putting into here. And now we can expand out this, framework here. Because I think we want the very edge of it to be further along. As I said, because there's supposed to be a couple rooms back here. Still a bunch of stuff in here. I'm going to need to, at some point, make a huge project that's going to take a lot of dirt. Because we have a ton of dirt on hand. I need to use it for something. Or it's just going to be sitting in storage forever. So let's see. This is the end of this room. Then you would have a wall here. And of course, there'd be a couple doors in that, but we're not going to deal with that right now. And then this would continue along. And we have our dark oak planks right here. So then I think 4 is probably a good size for these rooms, because they're just kind of back storage and staff rooms. Not really anything too important. It doesn't need to be very large, just need to be there. Yeah, I need to break this. Perfect. Can do that. Rebuild all these back up. What are you doing? Now we've gotten the frame back to being framular. Very nice. No, not these. Not these. Keep misclicking. So I want these to just be... probably just be a doorway like that, but then you can't get up the stairs. But you can't have 3 high doors. So maybe the stairs need to be pushed one further back? But that doesn't work too well. Hmm. I guess, yeah, we're just gonna need to push them further back. Why would you place like that? Why do you think that's a good idea? I assure you it is not. Probably have these on either side of this, so it doesn't look... Give me the block. It's not gonna give me the block. That's fine. There we go. Then we can get in. Have these go across like that for our doorway, and then up. This needs to be like that. I liked it better when it was one further back. I guess what we could do, we could move this one further forward instead of moving the stairs further back. I mean, that would make it quite close to the street, but I think that's fine. So you just need to get rid of all this. And I think that's how it was originally. No. No. Everything's just falling apart. Just place the incorrect block and then break the incorrect block is just... everything's falling apart around here. Okay. No, wait, this is gonna be... yeah, I think these are both gonna be part of the wall. Probably. So we'll have that just be spruce on top of there. And then I guess these should be dark oak. I just broke that block. Game just did not want to agree with me there. Alright, so that's done. More like that. And this would probably be roofed. Like up here? Yes. Because this isn't going to go all the way up, I don't think. Because this is just the entryway. And maybe we should have another log across here, but I don't know. I feel like that would make too many logs. I've noticed if you make too many structural, you know, pillars in it, it kind of looks a bit weird. So we'll just leave it at the amount it has. Apparently I can reach 3 blocks down, so that's nice. I kind of thought it was only 2. Oh, it is only 2 because I can't reach like that. But if you're crouching, you're half a block lower. I see. Because I remember back in the olden days, you would always just go 2 blocks at a time because of that 2 block limit. So that's all those. We need to use more of these logs, which means we're going to need to cut more logs. So that's fine. We still have half of a forest over there. Oh, hi, creeper. You want to not? That was the end of that sentence. Just don't. Just can you not? There we go. That's starting to look like walls. That's, you know, what we're going for here. And now the windows are pretty high up in here, near the rafters. So how are we going to make that work? Probably a few more blocks up, because this is supposed to be a pretty tall building. So we'll just raise all this up. Another one to be on par with these. Okay. Yeah, that's a bit easier. And we're out of logs, right? So that one's just going to need to be a bit short. And that was the last of the planks. No, we still have more. That's good. Maybe we can finish this up. At least this layer of the wall. Perfect. Now we need to go cut more of those. We don't have a bed over here. Which is ironic, because the first building we built was the inn. But we never put beds in it yet. So that's... We're just going to need to deal with the enemies. Or I guess... Well, I could take off the backpack and then use the backpack sleeping bag. But that's always a hassle. Because, you know, you need to take off the backpack, losing... Oh, I thought the sheep hurt me. I was like, how did walking into a sheep hurt me that much? That was a lot of items. Okay. But no, it's just the skeleton archer in the background shooting at us. You can't shift. If you shift, everything goes horribly. Is that a horse? Of course. I was gonna say, why are the horses just bugged inside the trees? And then I remembered I planted all these trees, so they were probably just there when the trees grew. Because this is supposed to be a plains biome, but I deny that reality. Because, you know, it's Minecraft. You can just deny the reality of plains biomes all you want. I do like spruce trees, though. As I think I've said, I don't normally use spruce wood, but at least each tree has a good amount of wood in it. Working with oak is honestly kind of... Even birch kind of painful because they sometimes only have like 3 to 5 blocks in each one. This one seems to be like on average 6 to 7 or something. Maybe 5 to 7. That's still a much... Oh, it's a chupacabra or something. Right? Yeah. Oh, and he dancing. Look at him go. Yeah, I don't know why he's doing that, but it's I can't really bring myself to kill him just yet. If he's gonna be dancing like that, I'll just leave him alone. You know, I didn't know he was cool like that. Plus, you get a lot of spruce saplings for each tree because they have leaves all over the place. So we'll replant a lot of these. There's a sapling. Can't be leaving that behind. Creeper. I don't even know if I'm gonna need this much spruce wood. I don't think I do. Man, it's been night for a long time. Everyone else must be out mining or being busy with something else. Like making shops. That is in the nether. You wouldn't be able to tell the day-night cycle from there. And I very much would not suggest trying to go to sleep there. Alright, well we're gonna need to find a bed. It's essentially what's going on here. Because I kind of need it to not be night around there for me to continue with the building. Because I don't want creepers blowing anything up if their blowing upness is still a thing. Go back down to you. I'm also gonna need signs out front. But we don't have any signs on us, so it's fine for now. Okay. We got on top of it. And now we can place our singular log right here. Now how much taller do I want this to be? Probably not all that much taller. So what I'm gonna do, what everyone is thinking, and by everyone I mean me, we're gonna get more planks. We're gonna start bringing the roof in on the sides. So it's gonna end up being kind of a barn shape. We got the tall walls and then the kind of rounded roof over top. This is probably going to be too high, and then another one. And all this is just going to be flat because, you know, barns don't have roofs that come in from all directions, just, you know, the two sides. And this also is going to go up. Alright, so that's one block in. I don't know how I'm going to manage the rest of this. I'm probably going to have it go over one for each time the main bulk of it goes over one. Right? 'Cause that makes sense. And then there's going to be rafters up inside the roof as well. So yeah, I think we're going to go up 2 again over here. And then we're going to go up 1 more, and that's going to be the ceiling level. And we're starting to run out of spruce wood again, I think. Unless we have more. Nope, I think that's the last of it. So we're gonna need to... I was questioning when we were replanting all those trees if we're gonna need that much spruce, but certainly we will, because you kind of burn through it a lot faster than you think. Man, but this building's looking better already just because I'm actually giving a shape that isn't square to it. You know, it's amazing what that can do. Place the block. There we go. Don't place the block there. We're gonna have enough. Yeah, we have another stack. Okay, it's good. I was gonna say we have enough wood to get this entire roof finished, which would be preferable. And that's that. Big old building. This is going to be an internal wall. Which I don't know where all the doors are going to be on that, because I don't know exactly where I'm going to put the rooms back here. Because, you know, story-wise, you don't really go back there much, because it's kind of an employees area. And none of the main characters actually work in this building, so this area is just kind of an enigma. But I'll figure it out. I just need to contemplate on it for a bit. Man, our trees are already growing. That's quite nice. If only trees grew this fast in real life. Then we'd never have an issue with deforestation. You just, you know, plant a bunch of trees and then 10 minutes later you check again and you just have an entire forest back. Yeah, I really wish that I could have my halberd be made out of ruby, because it gives you the ruby weapons and, you know, tools, as this is, give you haste, so your attack speed is just absolutely insane, as opposed to my halberd, which has a lot more range, which is why I like it, but it's very slow. Now, I could split the difference, because I saw... I don't know exactly how this works, but I did see, I typed in haste, because I wanted a haste buff, and I saw you can get vials of adrenaline from Botania, which gives you increased attack speed and mining speed and everything else that haste does, but it just says attack speed. And you can put that on a tainted blood pendant, which I don't know what that entails, but that gives you, it looks like it gives you permanent haste. I think. That's just what it looks like. I've never done the Botania mod or gotten very far in it, so I have no idea if that's like a permanent buff or if that's just a temporary buff that you put on the necklace and it just lasts like 10 minutes. I don't know. But either way, if I could get permanent haste, that would be very nice, because that would increase my attack speed with my halberd significantly, increasing my damage output, of course. And that's what everyone cares about. You know, gotta have the damage output. But I'll look into that later. I was also wanting to do the... I don't know, it's Ad Astria, I think? Or Ad Astra. Yeah, it doesn't let you put the full thing in because there's, you know, 2 words. But you just put add in, and it brings this stuff up. And you get rockets, you get to go to the moon and get cheese, I think. So there's all sorts of cool stuff to do. The only things I'm worried about is, first of all, I have regular armor, and I wouldn't want to have to switch to a spacesuit to be up there. But I do have water breathing from my backpack, so I'm trying to figure out if that would carry over. You know, like if I don't need to breathe underwater, why would I need to breathe in space? You know, that's just my reasoning behind it. I guess there is oxygen in water, which might be, it's not that we're just not having to breathe, it's that we're actually absorbing the oxygen through the water, and thus in space there would be 0 oxygen. But you know, I'm just saying, maybe we'll still need to get, you know, space armor and everything, which would kind of suck, because it's not our normal armor. It'd make us much weaker. Unless we just make like a full suit of netherite space armor and enchant it with all the stuff this stuff has and make it somewhat as good and just have that be our space set. But that'd be very expensive. I don't know, I guess it depends on how much exploration there is in space to do. But yeah, so you got all these globes, which I assume are the planets you can visit, but I'm not certain because I haven't made any of the rockets yet. What's even the difference between the tiers of rockets? Is that just the planets they can go to? I don't know. But it takes a lot of steel, as you can see, which is why I got a bunch of steel. Where do you get this stuff from? I have no, yeah. So I was gonna be looking into that at some point and figuring out how you do all that, so I can go to the other planets and, I don't know, just explore. Because I've never done that before. I believe I have been in mod packs that had that mod in it, but I don't think I've ever actually gotten around to doing it. It's just like in RimWorld, when there's when I'm using that mod that makes it so that there's an entire space portion of the game after you lift off. I don't normally even get to that portion of the game. It's like I have the mod installed, but you just don't get that far. It takes a long time to get to that point. You need like thousands of steel and plasteel and all the high-end materials just to make the ship itself. It's like, I don't have time for that. Though I guess if I had the quarry mod, that would go not quickly, but a lot quicker. Because instead of having to like trade for all the materials, I could just have like a bunch of volunteers that, you know, show up to the base and put them to work in the mines, mining all my plasteel. That would still take quite some time, because it legitimately takes thousands of steel and plasteel just to make a small ship. And it's a bit crazy. I don't know how they expect you to be able to afford that at any point in the game. but it is an end game mod, so yeah. And you don't want even like just a small ship. You kind of need one that's self-sustaining, so you need it big enough to have a farm on and everything. So you need the bedrooms, you need the stockpiles, you need the bridge, you need the farms. That's a lot of space. But luckily in this, you just make the one little rocket and go to space. It's not nearly as complicated. I think. I mean, as I said, I've never gotten that far, so I probably shouldn't say for sure that it isn't that complicated. It might be a lot more in-depth under the surface. I don't know. Keep getting skeleton heads. I mean, it isn't bad. You probably use those for something. My inventory's full too, and I'm lagging. Let's go put some of this stuff away. Well, I guess let's go sleep again. Throw all of this in whatever chest they'll go into. And then we'll head home. Okay, let's put the buckets away. And then I guess I should show off my shop. I don't think I've been there this stream. I think I just started the stream because I was there before the stream, just making sure everything was good, but I don't think I've been there on stream yet. So this last stream that Morg did, she got this whole situation set up where, you know, there's the portal and the waystone, and I made a little shop thing. And there's like some signs and some maintenance doors in case the system, I actually need to get inside the system. And then you got the 3 items. Now, it would have been simpler, much simpler, if I had just gone through and been like, oh, I'll just have a chest that has a price on it, and then people can take out the item they want and put in payment. But I kind of felt like that had too much like personal responsibility on the part of the shoppers, and I'm a very I don't know, I wouldn't say distrusting. I just feel like if there's a shop system where someone could just take an item and not leave payment, that seems a bit messy. So I went ahead and found a tutorial to make, let me just go into the contraption, to make this whole contraption, which is a whole bunch of, I mean, it's all vanilla redstone, but it's pretty messy. It's a big system. And all of that makes it so that I can automatically accept and deal with payments. You know, you throw the payment into the hopper, and then the dropper, which the reason we have the vines here, so you can't just pull the final product items out of the dropper here, because, you know, you try to right click on it, it just does not work without breaking the vines. So that's why those are there, but they keep overgrowing, so I might replace it with like a ladder or something. But either way, you throw the price of the item into the hopper, and that goes through the system. It counts it up, takes like 10-15 seconds, and then it pops out the item. So it's not perfect. I would like to not have that long delay between payment and getting the item, but it works very well. So long as you just throw in the exact payment, it processes it very easily and then pops out your item promptly once it, you know, gets all the counting done. But so far I have a nether star in this one, dragon eggs in this one, and elytras in this one. So I had to farm up the ender dragon boss quite a few times. I think like 5 times last night. And then I went and killed like, I don't know, 12 withers. Because I remember I killed 1 wither the first time, and then I killed 3 withers, and then I killed 5 withers. So I guess that's just 8 withers, but I got a lot of the stuff, and it's all in there. So they're now purchasable for people who either need a lot of elytras or dragon eggs, or nether stars for like beacons, or for people who just are not very fighting inclined and don't want to have to do the boss, you know, fights on their own. They can just come here and like do some mining, and then pay with diamonds to get the items rather than having to do a whole combat sequence. So I think that works out pretty well. I still need to build the rest of the shop, as in like a roof, because this isn't always going to be open, I don't think. And I was going to have a window on this side, or maybe sell some other things over here. I don't know. It's still, I need to figure out exactly what I want to be doing with all of this, because it's like, do I want to make more of the auto systems? Because I could. They don't take that long to build, and they're pretty cheap because they're just vanilla redstone. But at the same time, they take up a lot of space, and each one can only sell 1 item for a specific price of another item. So it's like, that's kind of weird. That would be kind of hard to actually make large scale. It works for these because these are the singular, very few expensive items. But then if I was trying to sell like 50 different things, that would kind of be difficult, because then I'd need 50 of these boxes, and that wouldn't work. So I have no idea what I'm going to do with that. But overall, it's pretty nice. I got it all set up. I'll finish, you know, furnishing it later. I think that's all about all I came here for. What else was I gonna do? Let's go back to my base, which is kind of interesting, going through waystones between dimensions. But yeah, and here's my cobblestone generators. So I would put those on top of the recyclers if, you know, if I wanted to go for the infinite recycling system, which I'm still a bit iffy on. And here's the workshop, which I'm pretty sure I've shown before. I still need to finish collecting and placing the rest of the glass, but you know, it's difficult because the obsidian glass takes about as long as obsidian to place, or to break. So it's a kind of long process collecting enough to fully enclose this place in obsidian glass. There's the recycler. It's recycling a bunch of random stone that I cooked as a prototype, you know, test run to see if these new item ducts I've been using actually work. And they do. They work decently enough. But we got a lot of scrap here, which, you know, if I can take 9 of any of these, turn them into a scrap box, and then open the scrap box to get a random item. But we'll figure that out later. Alright, how is power doing here? Still full up. So yeah, it seems even with all the machines I have here, if they were all running at once, it still doesn't seem like it would be enough to overload these 6 solar panels, because they're pretty powerful. And there's a ton of energy stored in the system. Because you got, I don't know if this is overall 32.76 KE in the entire cable system, or if it's that much energy stored in each cable. Because if that's in each cable, then we have an absolutely gargantuan amount of energy just sitting in this cable system here. And then each one of these can hold 100 KE, and then each individual machine could hold about 1 KE. So that is, even if these aren't producing enough energy to keep up with the system for like an entire day, I'm pretty sure just the excess energy in the system would keep it running until the solar panels get back up to full production. So it's a quite good system thus far. Here we got the grinder, which is quite good because you find all that random diamond gear. Oh, okay then. You find all that like random diamond gear in places, and using the grinder, you can grind that up into diamond dust, and that stuff's, you know, actually useful instead of just having a few chests full of random diamond stuff. Which I actually have probably like 10 random diamond pieces of armor. So, very useful. I wish you could use it on all resources though, because as of right now, it's really only useful with diamonds, but I wish I could use it with like iron, because, you know, iron's nice. Maybe use it with gold. You'd think you could. But if you can grind up diamond equipment into diamond dust, you should be able to grind up gold equipment into gold dust or gold ingots, or not ingots, into gold nuggets or something. But evidently not. It just does not let us do that. So, I don't know what that's about. Maybe they just didn't want it to be too overpowered, or maybe they felt there wasn't enough utility for doing that kind of thing. So yeah, it's all set up, and you got water here so you can fill up the water for this. Later on, I think it uses like mercury or something, but I don't have that yet, and I have no idea where to find it, so it is what it is. Oh yeah, but I was coming back here to see, because yeah, I have all this diamond armor in here. Just a good location. It's over an ocean. Yeah, it's just a good location. It's over an ocean, so few mobs spawn, no falling risk, and it's high enough up that little else is loaded in when at the workshop reducing lag. So that was my main mentality when making it in that location, just way off over here above the ocean, way up in the sky. It's made of obsidian, so it's very safe. You can't like accidentally mine through the ground unless you're very dedicated to doing things accidentally. So you know, I might need to expand it one day though, because already like this entire portion of the place is filled up with the auto smelter, and then this is the alloy smelter and recycler. So just from those couple systems, this entire portion of it's taken up. So I might need to like expand it out this way at some point just to get more room for more machines on the inside. Who knows? Plus, I think just a random floating obsidian platform is kind of cool. I don't know, I like obsidian, and I like floating things. So yeah, anyways, I need to expand this still. I'll get around to it, I'm sure. Oh, I brought back a flat, or a banner from somewhere. Did I put that in here? No, we just have the ominous banners. We have a million of those. They're probably still in my shulkers somewhere. Anyways, aside from putting up some random banners that I found, I think that was about it. I'm kind of... I don't know why. I got better sleep today than I usually do because I actually have started to not let my cat in the room at night because she has been eating way too many things, and it's gotten to a point where I just can't protect every item she's trying to ingest. So it's kind of at a point where I'm just like, you know what, you can't be in the room at night because you eat everything, which is a very sad choice to have to make because I didn't want to have to do that, but it is what it is, and I got pretty good sleep, but I'm still quite, I don't know, I'm just kind of sleepy. I don't know why. So I think I'm gonna leave. Oh gosh, did not pull up in time and I hit the water. Probably gonna leave the stream about here, because I don't really know what else I would do other than continue building, and I'm a bit tired to try to do interior design right now. So we're just gonna leave that at that, and we'll get back to this later. I don't know if the next stream is gonna be about building that town more, or if I'm gonna be switching over to building up the shop more or something, or a different shop. Who knows? We'll see. And I don't know if I'll be streaming it tomorrow, because tomorrow's Saturday, and I'm kind of torn as to if I want to do a gaming stream on Saturday, or if I want to try something else with like maybe a chatting stream or a writing stream or something like that. But who knows? We'll see what happens. It might be more gaming stuff. It might not be. I've been planning to at some point. Here, let me go to here so you're not just looking at me standing around in Minecraft. But at some point, I'm wanting to do some Elder Scrolls game stuff, but I was having a bit of issues with that. Today's stream was actually gonna be that, but I was having some issues with it because I needed to, first of all, figure out which games I wanted to play first and in which order, and I think I've decided on doing it in reverse chronological order, starting with Skyrim, and then heading backwards through, I think it's Oblivion, then Morrowind, then Daggerfall, because I'm just not as accustomed to the older titles, and I'm most comfortable with Skyrim, so I think starting with Skyrim and then going backwards would give me kind of a good gradient of going older and older with the games, and I might be able to get used to it a bit easier doing it that way. Because jumping straight into, alright, playing Elder Scrolls Arena, like that's a very old game, and I have attempted to get good at that game, but it is just kind of confusing to me. So we'll see if it makes more sense once I've gone through all the other Elder Scrolls games. And I might not be finishing the full like storyline of each game, but certainly I will try to get, you know, at least some of it done, at least a few streams of each game. Certainly Skyrim I'm probably going to be playing for quite some time if I am still in the mood for Skyrim by the time I actually would finish it, because there's a lot of side things to be doing in there. You could definitely either play that game for like 2 days and finish the entire story, or play it for 2 years and still not find every little nook and cranny on the map. You know, every little side quest they've implemented. But, you know, it is what it is. We'll see what happens and how we end up playing it, because I've played it so many times I might go straight for the main story, I don't know. Or I might go and join the Dark Brotherhood and the Thieves Guild for the 1000th time, you know, because it's just my jam, you know, stealing things, killing people, that's just what life is all about in Skyrim. So, yeah, we'll see what happens with that, if I can get the mods all figured out for Skyrim, and you know, there's certainly a lot of them. We'll see. Anyways, I should probably end this off. So, yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.